On today's episode, we have our Week 7 winners and losers. We'll be sending guilty culprits to fantasy jail, and we'll be airing out some of our bad takes on Milk Was a Bad Choice. Yes, this is the RTM Week 7 recap show, but first, today's episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Fantasy drafts might be over, but you can still put your knowledge to the test and win cash prizes on Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy now has an exclusive offer for new customers. Not only will they double your deposit up to $100, they're offering a mystery pick'em special when you sign up using promo code RTM. Before diving into our winners, we want to thank all of you for supporting the Regression to the Mean podcast. We appreciate you for listening and being a part of the Mean team. If you haven't had a chance, we'd love it if you could go ahead, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop any of your questions in the comments below. We are marching towards our goal of 1,000 subscribers before the end of the season.
Crazy.
And it's free. Our YouTube channel is free. We appreciate you for tagging along. Let's start off with this week's winners. Aiden, who do you have as a winner this week?
Dude, I have so many. I had so much fun watching football today. I feel like a lot of guys won. None other than Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs. Welcome to the NFL. The Jahmyr Gibbs, we all thought we were going to... This is even more than I probably could have even hoped for this week. What a stud, dude. 11 rushes, 68 yards, and a tutty. On the ground, his first NFL touchdown. He had 10 targets, caught 9 of them for 58 yards. The dude had just under 28 points for RB3 on the week. Wow. All I've got to say is wow. Super exciting. I hope we continue to see this type of usage. Obviously, it's going to decrease once Monty comes back, but it's kind of hard to put the lion back in the cage at this point. Like, the dude went off this week. If we go back to seeing, sub 10 touches on a weekly basis, Dan Campbell has been freed from jail.
He's free. The shackles are free.
More like
we've released him from fantasy jail. Dan Campbell is free. But probation.
He might have community service or parole though. Yeah, probation. I've got my eyes on him. You're not in the clear. You're still on our radar. So yeah, dude, Jahmyr Gibbs, awesome, dude.
I have Jahmyr Gibbs as a winner as well. Some of the stats for our listeners that are important here. He played 86% of the snaps. He saw 80% of the attempts. He saw 78% of the routes. He had a 20% target share. He had 21 touches. And this is his second game in which he's played without David Montgomery, where he had 18 touches in the other game. In that first game without Monty, he scored 9 points. In this game, 28. I was very nervous that garbage time was going to knock him out of this game. At one point, they were down by 5 touchdowns, and Craig Reynolds was on the field. And I was like, no. What was so fascinating to see is Jahmyr Gibbs, they actually let him get into a rhythm, and they threw some screenplays for him. They got him involved, and you could really see him kind of get into the game, make some guys miss, take some hits. You could really see him kind of gaining momentum as the game went along, and it was really nice to see him get a complement of touches. And we really saw what he could look like when the Lions are losing, and it's in dump off to Jahmyr Gibbs mode, and it was Austin Ekeler levels of special, the Vince McMahon meme. It was great stuff. It was great stuff.
Special.
Outside of Jahmyr Gibbs, Keegan, did you have any other winners that you wanted to highlight from this week?
National Tight End Day, baby. The tight ends went hard today.
You got me there.
Kelce obviously had a monster day, 12 catches on 13 receptions, goes for 36 PPR points. But Mark Andrews drops a 20 bomb. Darren Waller looks really good again, has a 20 bomb. Dallas Goedert just short of 20-point week. Dalton Kincaid had 16 points this week. Gerald Everett found the end zone. Sam Laporta, another double-digit week for him. This is a good day to be a tight end and be celebrated on National Tight End Day. And how fitting that on this special fake holiday that we all love and care about so much, that tight ends actually carried their end of the bargain for your fantasy teams. It's a treat when you look at your whole lineup and you're like, wow, even my tight end got me 10 plus points today. It feels different. It's a massive moral victory knowing I don't have a 7-point tight end spot here. But yeah, it was a great day for tight ends across the league this week in general. Even Njoku had a pretty good game. Evan Ingram almost cracked the double-digit point mark. Just good all around from tight ends. It was good to see.
It was awesome to see Darren Waller in particular. It was kind of a slow start to the season for him. He's now given us 2 top 7 PPR performances in tight end over the last 3 games. And his target shares over his last 3 games, 36%, 22%, and 29%. And then obviously Travis Kelce with a vintage Kelce game where he's just always open, no matter what. How does he do it? And Mahomes was so dialed. I mean, Goedert was a huge reason why the Eagles were able to win that game tonight. He just was all over the place making plays. And then, yeah, Mark Andrews is just a beast. So it was good to see
footballs
the top
this time.
guys. It's good to see even then Kyle Pitts. And then Kyle Pitts
Holding
had the
on
best
to it.
catch of the day. And then he actually had the game-winning catch on their drive in terms of he took a one catch 30 yards all of Yak. Love to see him get involved more because he looks pretty good when they get him involved.
Every
Enough
week
of
he gets
John.
healthier
Enough
too,
of
and you could
John.
see him start
Yeah.
to move a little bit better. But he does those things like that catch today was so nonchalant for him. I'm just like, yeah, this guy might be good. It might be worth throwing him the football. But who am I to say?
That ball was so bad.
The catch that I'm talking about at the end of the game where he runs just a perfect wide receiver route and then takes it 30 yards yak downfield. No one's talking about that one. He looked
looked
great.
quick.
He
once
looked
got going a
great.
little
So yeah,
bit.
it was great to see tight ends show out.
Yeah.
I had tight ends and Jahmyr Gibbs. You guys had 2 of my big winners this week. I'm thinking I'm gonna take the mic here. I have 2.
I know what you're
What
doing.
do you think I'm gonna do? You think I'm gonna do
Just do it, and then I'll give you a thumbs up.
Lamar
right away.
Jackson?
That's the right guy.
Come on, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I saw this coming.
Yeah, I've got him too. I was like, dude, holy crap,
I might have sent
Lamar
multiple
Jackson.
text messages today saying I'd take a bullet for Lamar. Multiple people. Today
He's
was
talking
Lamar's
crazy.
7th career game with 4 passing touchdowns / rushing touchdowns while completing at least 75% of his passes, the most by any player before turning 30 in NFL history. Lamar Jackson is 26 years old. He's just so special. And watching him play with a complement of wide receivers, Odell looked decent today. Rashad Bateman showing signs of life.
The whole wide receiver room
Zay
looked
Flowers looked awesome.
good. The whole room
We
looked
saw
good.
some Nelson Aguilar not dropping passes. We saw Mark Andrews not dropping passes. So it was really nice to see the full application of this offseason and this Todd Monken offense. I've watched a lot of Lamar over the years. I don't think I've ever seen him this in control, where he's just getting pressure in his face. He looks so relaxed. He was making prime Russell Wilson moves where it was I'm moving around to make you miss, but not to rush. I'm moving around to throw the ball deep. It was spectacular stuff. And then I saw somebody tweeted this out. I guess Lamar at some point during the offseason said he can't wait to play the teams that passed up on him to not make a trade for him. And the Lions were one of the teams that were we're not going to go after Lamar Jackson. And watching Jared Goff is quite striking in terms of how different they are as football players in comparison to Lamar, where
Just a bit.
Jared Goff was doing his best Jimmy G impersonation where just cannot move. I was very shocked to see Jared Goff look that slow, but Lamar definitely was not. So Lamar is a huge winner. And the offense, I think, converted on 100% of their red zone opportunities after we threw their red zone offense as a loser last week. So good get right game for the Baltimore Ravens.
That was awesome. The Nelson Aguilar touchdown, like you said, kind of like Russell Wilson-esque. That was when I was I had to fan myself down. I was like, oh my God, that was truly unbelievable. And it just kept getting better. It was at that point, you knew Lamar Jackson was in full control of that game. And yeah, start to finish, absolutely throttled the Detroit Lions. That was a pretty special offensive performance.
Another QB that I want to show some love, and he's not having a bad year by any means, but he's not having the year that we're usually, I guess, dominant fantasy performances we're used to out of this guy. But big shout out, big winner this week was Patrick Mahomes. You got to give this guy his flowers this week. He had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns at halftime. If he had 300 yards and 3 tutties at halftime, the guy finished with 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. I believe he was QB1 on the day. It looked like his receiving core actually was good today. QB2. He looked like his receiving core was actually good today for the first time all year, where every piece was humming, whether it was Rashee Rice, whether it was, Kadarius Toney making a play, Sky Moore making a play, Travis Kelce, you even saw McCole Hardman getting involved. And then Marquez Valdes-Scantling had his best game by far of the season. So it was nice to see, and actually terrifying to see, that passing offense kind of come alive this week against an anemic Chargers defense. But got to give a shout out to Patrick Mahomes. We've kind of been waiting all year for this spike week if you've been a Mahomes bag holder, and felt very good this week.
You could add Rashee Rice to the winners as well, too. Every week I feel like he's mentioned as like, well, if there's one to have, he's the one on that team of the receiving core. But he just gets better every week. He gets like more comfortable. I feel like he's playing with like a lot of confidence right now. He's definitely one of the better, I think, younger wide receiver stories this season, because it's like you're playing with Patrick Mahomes and it's hard to be like shining above Kelce and everything, but he's just been quietly getting better and better, and he doesn't have the same like hype around him as all the other young guys. So it's been fun to watch for sure. But opposite end of elite QBs, let's give a big shout out to backup QBs this week. Gardner Minshew played super well. Tyrod Taylor obviously gets a win in kind of a stinky game. PJ Walker has to come in and play a little bit. I'm not going to give a shout out to Hoyer, but I'll give a shout out to T-Bag for coming in and doing it. In a week where we're down 6 teams on bye and also down a lot of starting quarterbacks, it was like particularly the Cleveland game and Indianapolis game. It was just fun to watch, like a game you thought was going to be really bad. It's just cool, like journeymen. A lot of these guys are journeymen. Some people like PJ Walker come from the XFL, like coming in and playing really competitive. Like I've always been a big fan of Tyrod Taylor, so good to see him get a win and get Waller involved. But yeah, shout out to the backups for bringing us some good football today.
Yeah, it's one of these guys might even get a good contract and trick us into thinking he's a starter like Geno Smith.
Josh Dobbs continues to play well too, like for backup quarterbacks in general. Like, shout out!
Wow, I love it. No one even caught my Geno sneak diss there. Go Niners!
No, I like him. I've got another backup actually. While we're talking about backups, and I'll go backup running back. Running back 1 on the week, dude. Deontay Foreman, have yourself a day.
Hat trick.
What a game. What a game, dude. That offensive line was absolutely bulldozing people, man. He averaged 5.5 yards a carry, 89 yards on the ground, 2 tutties. He's not a pass catcher at all. Caught 3 of 5 targets for 30 yards and another tutty. The guy was just absolutely rolling today. So shout out Deontay Foreman. It feels like he's just like playing with a chip on his shoulder. Like there's kind of no reason for this guy to have been inactive for the start of this year. Like he's clearly an NFL running back. He's good. He's starting caliber.
Every time
NFL running
he's
back.
Been given run, like whether it was the Titans or the Panthers or now the Bears, the guy has straight up just been like really good. Like
yeah. So I don't know what they do once Herbert and Roschon, because they have like 3 starting caliber running backs. And
someone's gonna get hurt.
Know, that's
someone will get
hurt.
Keep
all 3,
they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Or someone gets traded in the next 2 weeks. I don't know, but yeah, dude, Deontay Foreman. If you had the stones to start him, running back 1 on the week, man, what a performance!
Another batch of winners that I have here are rookie wide receivers. We have Josh Downs here with 24 points. You've got Puka Nacua with 23 points. Rashee Rice was 17. Jackson Smith-Njigba was 16. Jake Bobo was 16.
Catch of the
Zay
day,
Flowers
too.
With 12, yes. And Jaden Reed with 11 points. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rookie wide receivers here in like the top 30. So big week for rookie wideouts. You got to love it. And Puka is he has more targets than Cooper Kupp in the games that they've now played together.
Aiden, why you smile?
What a beast! What a guy looked like Larry Fitzgerald after the catch today.
Just need to go. Yeah, need to go to the fridge real fast and grab a.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. But the rookie wide receivers, this class was not heralded as a great group, right? The only one that's really been disappointing us is Quentin Johnston. He had a 6% target share today.
Even he had a nice catch today, though. He was a little more involved today. Like, we're making baby steps. It feels like a snail, but like we are making baby steps.
You don't have to do this.
He made that catch today,
and I was like,
"This is cope. This is
no."
Yeah.
The catch was
Copium
nice.
for sure.
But the catch, it was nice. It was body control, but then he didn't catch it with his hands. He threw it right into his chest, and he caught it like with the basket.
Whatever.
It did.
It counts.
Did count. That was it for my winners. You guys got any more before we transition to losers?
Nope.
That's
wait,
all.
no, I did have one winner here. Actually, last one, real quick. Darrell Henderson off the couch, RB1 for the Rams. That happened.
Also known
DHJ,
as
one of our
DHJ.
buddies.
I've never
Started
heard that
calling him
before in my life,
DHJ
dude.
in a group chat, and I double took, and I was like, did he just call him like, because he's like DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones?
Yeah, that's what I thought he
Darrell
meant.
Darrell Henderson Jr. And I was like, is the Junior like a thing? Do people say it? I've been calling him Hendo for years. I have no idea if that's his nickname, but that's just what I've been calling him. But either way, yeah.
That feels more appropriate.
Never
than
heard
DHJ. I said, who the
ever.
hell is DHJ?
What killed me when I looked up Darrell Henderson when I was doing my half-ass internet research to confirm if anyone's ever called him DHJ is he's only 26 years old. I was like, what is going on here? I thought this guy was like 35. And you know what's crazy? He looked completely the same. He looked like the same exact dude.
Exact same.
Nothing changed. I was like, yeah, this guy looks like Darrell Henderson for the Rams. I think he's clearly the guy. Royce Freeman looks like he's in second fiddle here to Henderson. And then did Zach Evans even get a carry in this game? I don't think he did.
We're not talking about Zach Evans yet.
I don't even think he got a carry. All right, but that's it for winners. You guys want to transition here to losers?
Let's talk about some losers, man. It's not all sunflowers and daisies over here.
Okay, what's going on with kickers this week? That was insane. Every time on Red Zone I looked up, just shank kick. We had Brett Maher in the afternoon.
That was the loudest doink I've ever heard in my life, dude. The
they trotted him
volume.
out for
He missed like
the
2
PAT,
or 3, didn't
which
he?
is brutal. But
He missed
they
at least
trotted
2
him
that I
out there
saw.
for 2 50-yard field goals. He missed it. He missed then a PAT. I saw Daniel Carlson missed a kick. Graham Gano missed a kick. Okay, also, no one gave us the heads up that it was going to be super windy on the East Coast this week.
That Tyler Bass kick that got sent to the left was crazy.
That Tyler Bass one. Oh my god.
Very windy on the East Coast this week, and I think that definitely played a part in it. But like both Carlson brothers were missing kicks. Like the Packers kid missed a kick. Daniel Carlson missed, I think, multiple kicks. It was just a shankapalooza. And like, who cares at the end of the day? But it was bad football to see these coaches like, oh, we got to get in the red zone. You know, we're going to kick the field goal, and then watching them miss the field goal. It kind of feels good because it was like, you should have just gone for it. So big loser of the week is kickers, though, especially Maher, who's been money this season. If you're playing him in fantasy, he had 1 fantasy point today. So that's tough.
That's tough. More losers. I'm going to highlight an entire team, but mainly one person. Any owners owning the Green Bay Packers, mainly being Christian Watson. It's dark for you, and it's only going to get darker, man. Christian Watson has played in 3 games this year and has averaged just a hair over 9. Was on the sideline at the end of the game, like, in pretty obvious pain. I'd say there's a chance he misses some more time for you. So if you took the gamble on him and expected this year 2 breakout, it is time to chalk that one up as an L.
I feel like you're talking to me. You're like,
yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're having a direct dialogue with Shaun.
No, I'm not.
I'm the biggest. I'm a huge Watson backer, and you're like, anyone who backed him.
I don't know too many people. I don't know
let
too
me
many
keep
people, but the
going.
people that did draft him.
No,
everyone is saying. People are saying. Not me though. Not me.
It's over. It's dead.
Jover.
Aaron Jones completely shat the bed against like the most like cush matchup in the NFL. The dude had 8 points against the Denver Broncos defense. Like that was supposed to be an absolute layup. The guy was non-existent. And then Jordan Love is Jordan Love. If it wasn't for that lucky like tip touchdown they had on 4th down at the end of the game, we're probably staring down like QB 20. So it's bad. If you own any of these players and you took a chance thinking this offense might be good, you're sorely mistaken. And I feel bad for you. That's it.
I don't know about victory lapping Christian Watson yet. If he's hurt, he's hurt. Like that's really been the issue.
But that was part of the concerns were injury history and unknown QB, and now both of his biggest red flags are burning.
The issues with Watson in particular, in this week, he was getting shadow coverage from Pat Surtain, and he's not good enough to beat Pat Surtain.
Which isn't,
I think I was a little. When we get to Milk was a bad choice. I'll have some thoughts on that. But Keegan, any losers for this week?
Any opposing defensive lines lining up against the Eagles in 4th and inches situations are losers.
Stop.
They literally no chance.
When they went for the tush push on like their own 26 or whatever it was, I was like, dude, these guys don't give a fuck. Like, dude, Sirianni's like smiling like
I think they did
the
it
most
3
like
times that
trial
drive.
too. It was crazy. Like, I wonder what they think when they see the formation and they line up. Like, do they all just get angry knowing like, there's nothing they can do to stop it?
We're fucked. Someone needs to Troy Polamalu him and just like jump over the line.
He's so strong.
I don't know.
He squats like 600 pounds.
Yeah,
everybody keeps complaining about it, and I don't know. I own Jalen Hurts so much that it's awesome because if a player gets tackled like inside the 1.5 yard line for the Eagles, I'm just like. I just close my app. I'm like, yep, there's 6. There's a couple more points for me.
I'm over here talking about Lamar Jackson this week, and Keegan has the same feeling about Jalen Hurts, but it's just because Jalen Hurts gets his ass pushed into the end zone every week.
It's the biggest cheat code in the world.
This guy's generational.
He is, dude. He squats 600 pounds. I don't know if you guys know that.
He's going to score like 50, 60 rushing touchdowns in his career. Like how many? Does he lead the league in rushing touchdowns this year? He's got like 7, right? It's just
the best. It's the best fantasy football hack ever.
It's probably him and Mostert. Yeah, him and Mostert probably.
I've got one that's a bummer. First round running backs, if you took them. CMC's banged up. He's going to play this week, so I'm sure it might be a winner by the time he's done. But if you took Austin Ekeler, he's looking like CEH right now. It does not look great for him. They're just kind of running him into
the tackles. They just keep throwing him into the tackles every time. Justin Herbert doesn't care to check down anymore.
Zero
checkdowns.
It's
today.
like
zero checkdowns.
Herbert is now like flipped it to the other side where last year it was too many checkdowns. This year it's like Herbert's like too aggressive this year. Like to the point where it's like, dude, Ekeler was wide open for like a 10-yard gain, but you felt like you had to push it into a non-existent window to Gerald Everett and he gets picked off. It's like, what happened to you? You've like completely flip-flopped. You were generational with the checkdowns, and now it's like non-existent. I don't get it.
There's some fun regression happening with Justin Herbert right now. It's not very chill.
Yeah, there's going to be a dialogue soon. There is going to be a dialogue soon. Not yet, but it's brewing.
And then Bijan Robinson. What was that? I don't know.
We're going to get into this.
Illness,
headache.
If he's sick, scratch him.
Arthur, I can't play today. Arthur, I have a headache. I can't play.
No, this isn't his fault. No,
this isn't Bijan's fault.
No, this is on Arthur. This is on Arthur.
You guys got Zach tailored. You guys got fucking Zach tailored. You got Zach tailored.
That's what I was thinking all day. I was like, this is how Shaun felt. This is how Shaun felt.
We're going to talk a little bit more about.
You just know Arthur Smith like perked up when Bijan came in. He's like, I don't feel too good today, coach. And he just got this big shit-eating grin. He's like, Cordero. He's like, CPAT.
I'm going to make you active anyways.
How those hammies feeling, CPAT. But I don't get it. If Bijan doesn't feel well, why is he in on the last drive of the game?
Suited up and everything, like helmet on the whole game, dude. If you have a headache, why would you want a helmet squeezing your head? I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into
this. That.
Let's keep it rolling. Yeah. I've got some more losers here. I want to highlight that call at the end of the Rams-Steelers.
That was a terrible call.
What the hell was that? Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett on 4th and 1 clearly is short. Clearly is short. Down 7, about to give the Rams a chance to go tie the. It's at like the 40-yard line too. They're 60 yards away from going to tie the game. Clearly was short. Absolutely hosed them, and they lose the game. Like, come on, dude. The NFL's got to be better than that. We've got enough angles to where, like, we could all see from the couch. I'm drinking a beer on the couch. Like, yep, definitely short. And
that was
like,
brutal.
No, they went to New York. We had Blandino on the phone, and it was like, Line him up first down.
NFL
Jesus Christ, are you
rigged?
serious right now? That was terrible.
No. That was
Keegan might be onto something. Keegan might be.
That was brutal. And then McVay had used all of his timeouts, and the look of McVay looking up at the scoreboard and he's like realizes he's like, I can't challenge this. He can't do anything. And then the Steelers fans, because it was like 80% Steelers fans at SoFi today, which always, whose house? Rams house? It's, no, it's not. Change your fucking slogan, Ram Lee. It's the word. It's just factually incorrect. It's everyone's house, and you also split it with the Chargers. I digress. But it was just hilarious to see like the Steelers fans just go nuts. Like Najee Harris is like looking pretty good. You had Jalen Warren do his thing. George Pickens. The Steelers were big winners.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about it. Najee looks decent today, man.
Najee looked decent. He looked like Derrick Henry. I was like, what? He's Derrick Henry without the burst. So he's just kind of like a big, slow, plodding running back. But
yeah, so I was about to say Mike
Eddie
Tolbert.
Lacy.
Oh, come on. Come on. But for the first time this year, Najee Harris outscored Jalen Warren. And Jalen Warren had a decent game. But yeah, that was
fly the banner, bro. Fly the banner. Good for Najee.
Another
the Najee banner outscored Jalen Warren in
16
fantasy.
points. 16 points is Najee Harris's legitimate ceiling in fantasy football. Another loser this week for me, Brian Robinson. No one's really talking about it, and he scored a touchdown. But Robinson played 48% of the Washington snaps today, which is the second lowest rate of the season. And he finished the day with a season low 47% running back share. They were trailing, so they're going to get Antonio Gibson involved. But Chris Rodriguez, the rookie out of Kentucky, is starting to get some carries.
So annoying, dude. Yeah,
I had all those notes that you just had in because I highlight Brian Robinson as somebody that I thought would have a good opportunity this weekend when we're going through our previews for rankings. So he's definitely in my spoiled milk carton that we'll dive into a little bit. But had he not gotten the end zone, you're looking at a sub 5-point outing from B-Rob in a very cake matchup. I don't know if it's him or if it's Ron Rivera, but I feel like Ron Rivera does not know who to play. I legitimately feel like there is an issue brewing in Washington where Ron Rivera is just not playing. Like, I love Curtis Samuel, he's a good player, but like, dude, Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson should be your most involved players, and Jahan Dotson's not playing well, but like Chris Rodriguez getting snaps, you know, they're mixing Antonio Gibson in. Like, it's a mess, dude. Like
De'Ami Brown. I think I saw Byron Pringles target today. I think I saw some Byron Pringles. Some Byron Pringles.
Dude.
Also, this man Sam Howell is on pace for 100 sacks. That's like a thing.
Dude, the records I think
70 something
was like 76
for David Carr.
He's taken 40. Like, you're gonna die out there, Sam Howell. Like,
that's a major loss. The Commanders yell this weekend.
A lot of it is on him.
It's on him. Like, but you also see like these play calls where they don't call any blocking. Like, I've also heard, like they call it, and it's like, get it out, Sam. Like, they're putting him in some pretty gnarly spots. I've heard that like Bijan is not really putting a lot of players in protection that could try and mitigate this, and it's kind of brutal. Like, some of the hits.
You have 2.5 seconds, Sam. 3 seconds.
Some of the hits that I saw him take today were real big boy NFL hits, where he was like, "Ooh,
yeah, he's a tough guy,
he's not gonna be able to get up all year."
Throwing the offensive game plan intentionally to get Ron Rivera fired and get hired sooner.
Yeah, it's all
NFL's rigged. NFL's rigged.
I want to say on QBs here, I want to highlight like two very fast. Deshaun Watson, dude.
Loser.
What a disaster the last month has been for him, man. Misses 2 weeks or 3 weeks, including a bye. Comes in, has 5 yards and an INT before exiting again. Like, absolute disaster for this guy. He started the year pretty decent too. So I'm not going to say like the whole year is a loss, but like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Like, what was it? A couple weeks ago, it was like he's fully healthy, but he's not playing. Like, it feels like there's a ton of internal pressure on him to kind of like figure it out, and that's not happening. Like, it's kind of trouble in paradise there. It's a really messy situation. The other one I want to quickly highlight too was Josh Allen. What a disaster game from them, dude. He got outplayed by Mac Jones today. Like, that was what are the Bills doing out there today? Like, the game plan
They were
just
getting our
looked
guy James Cook involved, which was
disastrous out there.
cool. Good to see James
Yeah.
playing well.
James Cook getting
Bro,
involved, but
Allen made some really
what are we
bad
doing,
throws,
man?
like
What
missed
are
some
we doing?
touchdown opportunities.
he's been doing like some like year 2 mistakes this year where he's just like way too trigger happy and just like
Just
throws
saying,
it into like
division's
triple
up for
coverage. It's
grabs.
like Stephon down there somewhere, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just check it down, or like throw it to James Cook. He's standing at the first down marker. So tough week for both of those guys.
Losing to the Patriots. It was shocking to see how much
Mac
Okay, let's be
better
nice
truly
about teams
outplayed
who have
them.
lost to the Patriots.
He looks
okay?
good.
Like, some people lose to the Patriots.
I'm going to tell you this, though. I'm going to tell you this.
It
This Pop
happens.
Douglas rookie in 81, when he's on the field for the Patriots with Kendrick Bourne, with Hunter Henry, with Ramondre, they've kind of got something going a bit. It's not good, but it's not like as atrocious as it's been. I'm not trying to write excuses here for Josh Allen. Josh Allen's just trying to do too much, always. It's just hero ball, nonstop, 24/7.
Yes,
This offense looked
yes.
really good and balanced when James Cook was getting involved. Even Latavius looked solid, but like sometimes Josh just tries to do too much. But I mean, he had a pretty good fantasy day, right? At the end of the day, yeah. Which
He
is
did have a good fancy day. Yeah, I think he had 3 total touchdowns.
we're gonna take it.
Maybe 2.
He's still
I know at least
elite
2.
fantasy quarterback, so we're gonna take it every day of the week. But Deshaun Watson, wow, it is crazy that Baker, who's not even really playing that well, is playing so much better than he is, like night and day better. It's crazy how bad of a contract.
bad.
And even talking about Lamar Jackson, right? Teams were falling over themselves to give Deshaun Watson $200 million and multiple first-round picks. No one was interested in Lamar Jackson. I don't get it, dude.
There's still something up. Like, we need a formal investigation. Like, something was going on, man. That doesn't make sense to me still. It was like, yeah, like a first rounder, and you just get like an MVP caliber quarterback, and he's yours in his prime. But no,
Watson's cooked. PJ Walker, who's not good, looks like he can run the style of offense that they're looking for, which is we just want our defense to own this whole entire team, and you just limit your mistakes. It almost seems like he fits that bill a little bit more, which is sad.
How do they get like? They're so under. Like, how do you get out of that contract?
You
or
don't
like, make
You
like,
have to cut your losses, I think.
but like, so what? It's
all of it's
so
guaranteed.
Bad. It's so
Every
bad.
penny of it.
All of it
it's
is
not even,
guaranteed.
It's worse contract than Russell Wilson's. It's who Russell Wilson got a dub. Shout out Russell Wilson this week. Had to stream him in fantasy.
Yeah, that was
He
big.
did okay.
It's the worst contract
Deshaun.
in sports. I agree. It's
And he sucks at fantasy football too, so it's a double whammy. Any other losers? I have one more loser here.
I've got no more losers over here.
that was all I had.
Raiders
No
offense.
losers.
I mean, and Josh McDaniels.
Oh
They
baby.
decided to play Brian Hoyer because I think they were trying to really like win this game with like 38-year-old Brian Hoyer, who's 0-13 in his last 13 starts. They got pushed around. They got pushed around in this game by a Bears defense that has truly not been great this season.
It's
just-
The last 3 weeks, we've given up on average 16 points a game. We're
And
turning
they
the corner.
basically said we're going to shelve everything that's been working and we're just going to funnel targets to Devontae Adams, even though Jacoby Myers and Michael Mayer are really nice complementary weapons to Adams and form like a pretty good passing game. And they shelve all of that, go with Brian Hoyer, and I think the Bears defense is the number 1 fantasy defense this week. Was that correct?
They might have. They had a tutty at least 3
I think
INTs
they
can
finished
count.
as the
They're
defense,
probably
number
top
1
3.
defense this week. The Bears defense, major L for the Raiders offense. It is brutal. It is brutal. So you gotta.
Yep.
All right.
Tough.
That's it for winners and losers, right? Is it time? Is it time to hear Aiden's rant?
You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
It would not be fantasy jail on the Regression to the Mean podcast if it wasn't with our number 1 most wanted criminal, a man that is wanted in all 50 states for his crimes against fantasy. Aiden Haller, you have a lot to get off your chest. You want to speak directly to the jury here. In this case, is that what you'd like to do? Okay.
Yep. So the charges being brought forth are against none other than Arthur Smith. What I'm asking the jury for and the judge is lifetime sentence, no parole, solitary confinement. What he did today with Bijan Robinson is absolute malpractice, dude. There is no reason for Bijan Robinson to be active if they knew pregame and even yesterday Bijan's not feeling good and can't go. They pretty much just burned a roster spot today. You get 53 guys a week, and they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and try to win this one with 52 guys. We are going to go with our running back, who's clearly not healthy, who we're not going to use. But then just to rub it in our face, him and his smug little mustache, we put him in at the end of the game for a 3-yard carry. Like, no. What? No. That was I would have preferred the donut. I would have preferred the donut personally with Bijan. I cannot believe he had the guts to say, all right, Bijan, you feeling better now, buddy? Get on out there. 3 yards, all right. You're good. Back to the locker room.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got some Advil in your locker, buddy. Hope you're feeling better.
Okay.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice, Arthur, but I hate you, and I always have.
This, okay? Because we want to make sure that we have a fair prosecution against Arthur Smith, who at this point is like the John Dillinger of fantasy. This guy's like a master criminal, FBI most wanted. So, okay, we start this game very clear. Bijan Robinson is not starting. We're getting a ton of Tyler Algier. We're getting a ton of Cordell Patterson. 9 minutes of game time occurs before we actually get to see Bijan play. Towards the middle of the game, it became clear that Arthur Smith had a report at halftime saying Bijan doesn't feel good. So we're just going to have to limit his snaps. Hurts. And again, it comes out after the game that Bijan got a migraine late last night into this morning, and that's what caused this. And they kept panning to him on the sidelines. And you know, like when you tell your mom or dad that you couldn't go to school because you were sick and you didn't feel good, and then when they'd come into the room, you'd just be looking all sad, you're like just looking all sad, like under the covers. He looked so sad, dude. He looked so sad. He looked like a kid who like lied to his parents. And I'm not saying Bijan lied. This is the example I'm throwing out there. I just think what's crazy is like, why aren't we getting a report from Pam Oliver or Aaron Andrews? Hey guys, Bijan not feeling too hot today. Something to keep a monitor on. That'll be key.
Would have been nice.
Are we getting a full Bijan Robinson? This is giving me post-traumatic Zach disorder, guys. I'm getting it right now. I'm feeling it. I'm getting Zach tailored, and I'm getting triggered. I'm not well right now. I need a emotionally safe space. But I'm throwing everybody in jail, all right? Arthur goes to jail because he's Arthur, right? We don't give him the benefit of the doubt. He's guilty until proven innocent.
No, you're not going to
I might throw Bijan in for a very light sentence, very, very light sentence, but he can come right back out with a good week. And then anyone that covers this Falcons team, all right? What is going on here? Clearly, Kyle Pitts tore more than his MCL last year. Bijan Robinson's sick and he's not going to play today. Why don't we have good beat reporters or information on this team? Like, why is this a black box? They have 3 fantasy superstars on their team. We need better beat reporters here for the Atlanta Falcons throwing you in jail, even though they're probably good people. We just need more information. We need a bigger collection, a unit, all right? And this is we need it.
We're a team.
The final straw for me on my camel's back of my Bijan experience today was him being out there for a fullback screen to Keith Smith and being the lead blocker for him. That sent me dude. No. I was so frustrated. There was no Bijan on the field for almost 5 straight drives, and I'm like, wait, he's out there. I'm like, oh, a screenplay. I'm like, to Keith fucking Smith to the fullback.
The fullback. It was so good.
Arthur Smith was just like,
I think he gets pleasure out of it, dude. He's
perfect play.
And you don't know he's sick yet or hurt. And you're just getting these Cordell Patterson carries.
This should have been announced.
Each Cordell Patterson carry is going for 2 yards at the beginning of the game, and you're just sitting there tilting. you're like, what is going on?
Because you have no
here?
information. You've seen 5 straight Algier
Yeah.
runs, and the next thing you see is a Cordell Patterson pop for 1.5 yards. And
And
you're like,
around,
something's
He
wrong.
reversed his field.
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah,
Seabat
dude.
reverse field today? That was unfucking real, dude.
Oh.
Like moving like a tugboat, looking like prime Leonard Fournette out there.
I'm getting sick to
that
my
was-
stomach. Can we talk about something else?
Yeah. I'm throwing Josh Kelley in fantasy jail because
Dude.
is this guy only good when Ekeler plays? Every run he's had that's positive this season has been while Austin Ekeler plays. He had a 50-yard touchdown run, looked really damn fast in the process. And you're watching, and you're like, oh my God, big play in the Chargers game. And you see it's a running back, and you're like, it's Austin Ekeler. And then you're like, no, it's the running back who averaged 2 yards a carry while you started
I
him
almost
every
spit
week.
my water out. I was so fucking angry, dude. Like,
No. Once he broke it, I was like, I just thought of you right away. I was like,
That's
Keegan's
Keegan's
gonna
guy.
love this one. I know.
It's
He's
Keegan's guy.
dude, I got a text from somebody. They were like, oh my God,
no.
big Eckler run. And they were like, wait. Like, dude, leave me alone.
Jail. You cannot. You being good, Joshua Kelley, is cool. I'm happy for you. You being good only when no one wants to play you. Straight to fantasy jail.
I don't have enough fab to pick you up again, Josh Kelley. You can't do this.
Another guy we're sending.
I cannot financially recover from this.
Another guy we're sending to fantasy jail is Devontae Adams. All right, Devontae Adams, you went nuclear in the press. Your team had just won 2 games in a row, and you said, I know what it takes to get to the top. This is where I want to go, and what we're doing isn't going to get us there. You basically said, who cares about 2 wins? My goal is the mountaintop, baby. I want the ball. I want the ball, baby. You got the ball, Devontae, and you dropped a walk-in touchdown today when the game was still relatively close. And then my last guy is Jahan Dotson. You make the catch at the end of the game, dude. Guy's having a terrible season.
He looks just
Make
like
the play.
lazy out there. Like it doesn't look like he's like really trying or having fun. Like it's the OBJ meme. Like I'm not having fun anymore. Like it legitimately thinks like he's just like not.
He and
having
Terry
fun,
McLaurin
like,
could not
trying.
be like more opposite personalities just from what we know. Like Terry McLaurin's such a like shut up, put your head down, like lunch pail work kind of guy and just like grinds no matter how bad the situation has always been for him. He just shuts up, shows up and does work. And like Jahan Dawson's kind of out there like
balls.
leaving some routes a little early and just like minimal effort. Yeah, I'm not the first.
I'm not the first read. I'm gonna dog
Terry McLaurin's
it
like
here.
busting his balls like on every
It's
play.
bad.
Him and Jahan Dotson could not be more different.
He's on QB number 13 and still going for 100. He's like, I don't care. This is I'm him, and that's just how it is.
And the play in
Like, I
question here
deliver.
is at the end of the game, Sam Howell evades the 50th pressure he's seen all day. Like, does a nice sick little spin move, moves up field. This is going to be a first down. They score a touchdown to tie this game.
down to like
It was,
the 3.
it was a little
yeah, like
bit behind
it was gonna be like
Dotson,
inside the
but Dotson's
5.
got him. Just make a play, dude. You're a first-round wide receiver. You want the ball.
Make a
Like,
play,
he's
dude.
cuttable. He's cuttable.
You're
But that's
a
it for
for
fantasy
once.
jail for me. Who else do you guys have?
I have one more. I'm sending the NFL to jail. Enough Taylor Swift, enough of the Chargers super fan. Just give me football, dude. Like enough with the crap. Like I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like I don't need to see this little Chargers lady
Buffalo
every
Wild
other
Wings
play.
hat.
I don't need to see Taylor Swift doing
She's a
the
Buffalo Wild
handshake
Wings
with
hat?
Patrick
She's already
Mahomes'
making
wife.
money
Like,
off Buffalo Wild Wings.
Enough.
Wow, good for her. Go get
Enough.
that
Like,
money.
Enough with this crap. Focus on the football, man. I don't
T
care
Swift's
about
good
all
for the
these.
game.
No,
T-Swift's good for
crap
the
in the
game.
stands.
T Swift is bad for the game.
No,
I actually
she's
had
doing
this in here, too.
handshakes.
Chargers
with-
fan. I'm out on Chargers
No.
fan. I'm out on the Chargers
No.
fan.
Taylor Swift doesn't
They've
even make
overdone
good
it though.
music.
They've overdone it. Like it'll be like a
She's the
random
most
first down to
popular
someone not
musician
even named
on
Kelce,
planet Earth.
and it just
Doesn't mean it's good. It just means there's a lot of people who have bad music.
they have to
taste.
stop though. They have to stop.
Oh, I'm Keegan.
It's enough.
I'd rather have
it's
MF
enough.
Doom be dating Travis Kelce.
What I'm saying. Oh, Aiden, I actually had Taylor Swift on here as well too. She needs to be put in a non-football viewing facility.
No, it
I'm so
needs to
tired
stop.
of seeing.
I love it. We're watching Chiefs, Chargers, and
No,
Hannah's glued
I-
to the screen, and I'm like,
that's
look,
it.
Kelce just caught a touchdown. Let's pan to Taylor. We're creating fans. All right, we're growing the game out here.
No,
guys,
dude, because
all
now
right?
it's
I don't
every
care.
time.
Content.
Give us a
dude,
Taylor
now
Swift
every time
channel.
Kelsey
Yeah,
catches the
no, give
ball,
us a
it's
Taylor
some
Swift
type
channel.
of pun with one of her hundreds of songs.
I
And like
that.
I heard a
I hate
full
that.
sentence of Taylor Swift song titles. Like it was constructed just song titles. God, it made me want to throw up. But last person,
the great catch, but he's gonna have to shake off that hit.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Do like a special on MTV where it's just like her for 3 hours just sitting there and like eating snacks and stuff and cheering, and then like leave the football
just going crazy
to the
with
channels. Like
Mahomes.
I don't care anymore.
Mahomes is just
I don't
going
care.
absolutely ape shit on the Chargers, and it's just sad Chargers fan and like Brittany Mahomes doing secret handshakes with Taylor Swift. It was great for fantasy purposes. You guys don't have enough Chiefs because every time they show Taylor Swift, it means I'm scoring fantasy points. But Keegan, yes, who's the last person you're sending to jail here?
I think we should just send Deshaun Watson to real jail. I mean, he's a bona fide criminal. I mean, this guy's a bad person. I cannot believe. I know we already talked about this, but like, what an awful fucking person this guy is. And we gave him a fully guaranteed contract. We traded multiple first-round picks. Yeah, he's sorry. The NFL should punish the Cleveland Browns for, one, making us watch him play football, two, executing on that contract, and three, giving him a second opportunity. Like, him being back in the league is absolute, like, one of our favorite phrases we love to use here, but it is malpractice. Like, I think he belongs in real jail, actually.
He definitely belongs in real
jail.
When he got hit on his, like, concussion, and I don't want to knock him in while he's down, but I think he teleported back to the massage table. He looked a little too comfortable laying on his back, private parts facing north.
I need to add on to this. I think people that wear Deshaun Watson jerseys should be booked with him. I was at the bar today. You're out in public with him on your back saying, like, I fully support, like, this absolute, like, sexual deviance.
Bro, Cleveland fans were making signs that said more massages.
This is who I am.
Shit, dude. Well, like, they're a grimy group of people.
Yeah, no.
Dog pound, baby. Come on.
No. Everyone involved might need to go to real jail.
I know that's a fantasy segment, but yeah, real jail for Deshaun Watson.
All right, we got to air out some bad takes. You guys ready?
Let's get into some milk.
I have a lot of spoiled milk.
I'm thirsty.
Milk was a bad choice.
All right, fellas, I'm going to kick things off here with my milk. I told you to be careful starting the Tampa Bay wide receivers. I said, hey, this is a tough matchup, low scoring affair. Chris Godwin avoid. You're going to start Mike Evans. Both of them had really good games. Mike Evans caught that long touchdown. He looked great. Chris Godwin looked really good out of the slot. I think he had like 15 PPR points. I'm just underestimating how big of a gunslinger Baker Mayfield is. Like, this guy will throw the ball every single time, no matter how dangerous of a throw it is. He is ripping it to those guys. So I'm going to own that there. I rode with the Tay narrative. Devontae Adams, I had him as my wide receiver 4. I was right about the volume.
I told
you. He had like 13 targets. And he caught a touch. He dropped a touchdown. He should have like 20 fantasy points today. He didn't. So I honestly was like, I'm okay with a bad quarterback with good volume because he's Devontae Adams. But Tay, it's like betting big on like Tillamook Creamery. I'm a big fan of Tillamook. I think they make phenomenal products. But then, they come out with a new product line, and I'm backing it sight unseen, and all of a sudden it's like poop frozen yogurt, like from Nathan For You. Like that's what they're dropping on you. So I don't know. That was tough. Else I have here, I really thought Aaron Jones was gonna have to have a good week, but I overestimated his health coming out of the bye. Like, what the fuck is going on with the Packers? How was he hurt? Whatever. Christian Watson. What a fail. The Packers are so sorry, and he might be done for the year, so that's fun. And then last but not least is Joshua Palmer. Josh Palmer might be good, and I might be drinking the milk on that. He might be a good player.
You owe him some apologies.
Not yet, but he ran some good routes, made some really tough contested catches, and looks like a really damn good receiver. So I'm gonna have to drink the milk there on Josh Palmer. Aiden, throw it over to you.
I want to preface this one. So the data was sound on this one. The data was sound when looking at the matchup for the Rams against the Steelers. Historically, this year, one wide receiver has gone nuclear, the wide receiver 1, and wide receiver 2 has been absolutely stifled. I just had the wrong guy, all right? This is like potential food poisoning from the glass of milk that I accidentally drank this weekend. I'm so sorry, Puka. I was wrong. I was wrong. 8 of 12 targets for 154 yards. Wide receiver 4 on the week, dude.
Puka, baby.
Cooper Kupp had 2 catches for 29 yards. So I did get that part right. I did not guess. I did calculate. Someone was going to go nuclear, and the other person wouldn't. I was just so wrong. I thought Cooper Kupp was going to wipe the floor with that secondary. Wrong. So I've got a tummy ache, but I'm going to keep going. The only one I really want to get over is the Zach Evans hype train. Crash and burn. We barely left the station. I don't even think the track was finished. Like, we had some fatalities probably on the train.
Fatalities.
It's fatalities.
Wow, that was pretty good.
But yeah, Zach Evans hype train, dude. I was wrong on the waiver episode. I thought everything was primed for this to happen, and we just started signing it's like assembling like the Avengers, dude. It was Zach Evans by himself. It's like Vroom, Darrell Henderson, Vroom, Royce Freeman. It's
Miles
like,
Gaskin.
what are we doing, dude? Like, it was your time to shine. Vroom. Yeah, like, what are we doing, man? So I'm sorry, Zach Evans is probably never happening this year. So it's never happening. Maybe towards the end of the year, I don't know. But that's my milk. Not as much milk here with the rankings because I don't have as many.
I'm the one putting my neck on the
sits.
line with the milk.
Yeah, so I think me and Keegan will break down a couple more people for rankings, so that we can potentially.
Well,
fall
I
on our
mean,
face
funny
a little
that you
more.
say that because I definitely
that's all
fell on my
milk.
face with all of my suggestions last week. So I definitely tried to go out of my way to highlight a couple people in each of the rankings that Shaun shared with us. But little did I know I was just providing many glasses of spoiled milk that would just sit on my counter waiting for me Sunday night. And I'll drink them right now with you all, the Mean Team listeners.
Vomit.
First glass, because we already talked about it, but Brian Robinson. First glass of spoiled milk, Brian Robinson.
He scored a touchdown.
He only had 8 points, dude, with a touchdown. In PPR, 8 points with a touchdown, dude. If he doesn't have a touchdown, it would have been
That's
really,
brutal.
really bad.
That's brutal. He's staring out 2 points without a touchdown.
You got to give him that.
Shaun already highlighted it too, but I just want to bring that point up again. He only played 47.8% of Washington snaps today. Like, that's I don't know if maybe Chris Rodriguez just had a really good fucking week in practice that we didn't hear about or something, but I feel like Brian Robinson's got to be playing a majority of that team's running back snaps. I just don't really understand that. But yeah, that was bad. Also, I feel like I'm okay with being wrong about this, even though I've been a pretty big hater of the Steelers this year, but George Pickens is emerging, and I definitely had him down as somebody that was not going to be very good this weekend, especially with Deontay Johnson back. But he's kind of just like a dog. But also, kudos to Matt Canada and the Steelers because it wasn't just outside go routes this week for George Pickens. Definitely lined up in a couple different spots and caught some stuff over the middle, which was really encouraging to see. 5 receptions for 8 targets and 107 yards. So that was a bad avoid target for me. I really liked Amari Cooper this weekend, but I didn't know that his quarterback was going to continue to be awful. The quarterback who's the highest paid, most guaranteed money, largest contract, worst contract in the world quarterback could be so bad to not support Amari Cooper. And then he has to deal with a former XFL quarterback throwing the football. So a really bad day for Amari Cooper. 2 receptions on 8 targets for 22 yards. Just not enough consistent QB play for him. Another one, and I feel like a lot of
man, you were busy.
I was really busy.
You were also out on George Pickens, but we let you slide. You were like, Deontay.
I wasn't going to say anything.
At least you didn't start with my milk wasn't too bad this week.
This happens every week. Aiden's like, my milk wasn't that bad. At least I'm straight up here.
You skated by on that Pickens recommendation.
Yeah, Keegan was talking about it, and I was like, thank you for wearing this for both of us. You're so
this next
great.
one is kind of like, I feel like he's become a little bit of a fantasy statistics darling because his air yard share is good and target share is good, and he's a prime positive regression candidate. But I think you just have to stop chasing these lofty fantasy stats for Marquise Brown until Kyler Murray comes back because back-to-back dud weeks where people in fantasy like me are chasing these like advanced fantasy stats that usually help us spin a like prettier narrative and dress it up. Like these fantasy stats are basically like oat and almond milk, like the new marketing campaigns for those. But at the end of the day, like you're still just drinking a dairy product that doesn't really taste as good as
Milk's
the real
way
thing
better.
anyways.
Milk's way better.
Real milk is way better. Like real production is way better than air yards.
AJ Brown is way better, even though Marquise Brown and AJ Brown have similar underlying usage statistics.
Exactly. So Marquise Brown, boof. Yeah, that was bad for me. On to the next one, because I've got one more for you. My last glass of milk. Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor owners rejoice. Good week for him. Whatever week for Zach Moss. They still split like touches pretty
50-50.
evenly this week, 50-50. But
it was 50-50
the same amount of carries.
But what he did with his carries and his targets was most important.
He's
Obviously, he gets a rushing touchdown. He looked good. 18 attempts for 75 yards. Also caught 3 of his 4 targets and put up 45 yards to go with it. So good week for Jonathan Taylor. I'm full and my stomach hurts from drinking all that.
It's too damn hot.
Yeah,
Milk was a bad choice.
You definitely need like a lactate.
It's
yeah,
too
that's
hot.
a lot of
Pop the
milk.
lactate. I'm sweating.
Woo! I can't wait. I can't wait for. I can't wait for when it gets Christmas time and we get eggnog was the wrong choice. It's gonna be great.
I think it's funny. Shaun and I have been
yeah.
doing this skit since we basically started this. It was like one of the first skits we ever done, and it felt like pulling teeth to try and find another milk-related pun. You got to like week 15, you're like, I don't know how many more of these guys.
Like, I'm chugging milk. And Aiden is just all about the milk. I wouldn't be shocked if I FaceTimed Aiden later in the week or something, and he's just like, "What's up, dude?" And he's just sipping milk, just like, "Gotta keep my bones strong."
I used to be a big milk guy.
You seem like country fucking
guy.
bread, even though I know you're not. But like, it just, I feel like you are. I don't
Shaun,
know.
I need to start taking better notes on Aiden's start sit suggestions. I feel like he flew under the radar this week, but it's always okay.
I nailed it this week.
It wasn't that bad.
I'll highlight some wins. I'll highlight some Kenneth Walker. Smash.
He had 12 points.
Raheem Mostert. He had 100 yards, which I called, and he was going to be awesome. No, that counts. No. You guys don't get to take this away from me. No. Raheem Mostert fade, masterclass.
Everyone was like,
masterclass.
I don't know about Raheem.
Oh, I gotta add Raheem
I was
Mostert back into my
Tay,
milk because I was the only one not fading him. So I'll
You
toss
were
that
into
as
him,
well.
and I was like, Eagles rush defense. Sometimes it's that easy, but
No. I was in my bag this week if you take Puka out.
And George Pickens and Kenneth Walker.
We went 1 for 1 on our big fights.
Ayuk hasn't played yet.
We had 2 little arguments, and one was Puka, one was Tay, and you went 1.
Wait, did you do more Monday night highlights too? No, dude.
I had Ayuk.
You said before the episode you were like, I gotta stop doing that, and then you did it again.
I'm done. I didn't realize it.
All righty. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, for following along. We appreciate you.